Okay.
Okay, so today we'll start .NET Core, correct? Because before
Yeah.
that we will discuss about the .NET framework. Why go .NET framework? Why come .NET Core? Okay, so main reason for this .NET Core, actually .NET framework is not cross-platform. Means it based on Windows only. Okay, so and also framework .NET framework is performance wise is lower, and .NET Core is fast, and it not support cloud. .NET framework is not support cloud, and .NET Core is support cloud, and .NET framework is not open source. Okay, and this is open source. This is some major difference on here. Actually, from here, .NET 1.0, .NET 2.0, .NET 4.0, .NET 4.5. Okay, till till 4.5, this is a .NET framework. Okay, after that, .NET Core 1.0 come in 2016. Okay, so from here, 2016 start .NET Core.
Mm.
After 2016, after 2017, .NET Core 2.0, then 3.0, and after that, not come 4.0, direct come 5.0. Why? Because on here, .NET 4.0 is some naming convention in the .NET. Okay, Microsoft some issue in naming convention, so .NET 4.0 is not available in this .NET Core. Okay, due to this
Okay.
.NET framework. Okay, so and this you can see .NET on here. After that, on here .NET Core. Okay, on here .NET Core, but on here not .NET Core, only .NET, 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 .NET 5.0, .NET 6.0, .NET 8.0. Okay, why this region? Because in .NET Core, in .NET Core, some feature is not support. Actually, .NET before .NET before .NET 5, this thing is not supported. .NET framework, okay, .NET framework on here not supported, and Mono generally not supported in 3.1. But in .NET 5, this all summarized in one, means in .NET 5, .NET framework, .NET Core, Mono, Generic in include in one. Okay, this is
Okay.
.NET 5. This region,
Okay.
it remove core. From here, it remove the core. Okay, then continue version change .NET 6 and some changes in the 6, 7, 8. No more changes on here. Okay, these things
Okay.
on here .NET Framework and .NET Core. Okay, so after that we will talk about the release. The release we have in on here on here we have two type of release: LTS version and LTS and current version. Long term support and current term support. Okay, there are two type of support. Even number, suppose that we have on here. This is a .NET 6. Okay, this is a even number. Even number is
Mm-hmm.
long term support. Okay,
Okay.
6, 8, 10. After 10 come is long term support, and odd number is current term support. And current term support is only for the 18 month, and long term support is for the two, 24 on year, for 3 year 64 34, sorry. Long term support for the 3 year, and current 18 month. On here you can see, okay, 3.0, after that 6, this is long term. After that will come on here 8.0, this is a long term. Okay, current 18 month, and long term uh, 36 month. Okay, so this is a long term support and current. This is a version come in .NET. Okay, after that we will talk about the .NET Core. Actually, .NET Core, this is a actually .NET Core. Why we need? Why you are saying this is a open source? Okay, you know maybe some definition. This is a open source cross platform. This is why .NET Core is open source, because on here this based on the NuGet library, small library. When you install some entity framework, then install the entity framework. SQL Server, install the SQL Server. If you any some XML, then install the small NuGet you can install. According to that, you can work. Okay, but in .NET framework, in .NET framework, this things is not available on there. You download heavy means this part small partition on there in .NET framework is not available. Okay, due to that reason, this .NET core is lightweight. Okay, this is a same modular and smaller implementation of .NET core. Due to the reason, this is a smaller implementation, because NuGet is according requirement. You can download NuGet package and you can do on task. Okay, and this is a micro base architecture. Actually micro base is you can understand. Suppose that you had, we will talk about the Amazon. Okay, Amazon we have order. Okay, order, payment, cart, and login, authentication, different modules. Okay, so this is a separate partition on the project. So on there, we can do on small we can create a small API. Okay, so .NET Core for you can use for separate API you for the better performance use in .NET Core in microservices. Okay, and this is
Okay.
based on container support. Actually, when when I just open the Visual Studio, and I just show the why support. This is support Docker and container. Okay, when you deploy all things in container, then you can use in .NET Core. You can do, and this is a performance wise, this is very high. You can see in the performance, uh, Java servlet and .NET and Node.js. This is performance very greater than Node.js and Java .NET is very high. Okay, this is a performance very high .NET. Okay, you can see in the entity framework code performance in this is performance. Okay, so so these things in .NET Core is a better. Um, this is a cross platform things you understand it? Okay, I will go in the VS Code, then tell you one by one. Okay, so and .NET 5 and .NET 5 plus does not support. In .NET 5 which is available, and .NET 5 plus not support. This is MVC. Before that MVC converted in MVC core. Okay, and WCF converting to core WCF, and WWF converting .NET microservice. Lingo to SQL converting to entity framework core. Okay, and on here .NET Core compilation and .NET framework compilation. What the difference on between? In .NET Core compilation on here, core effects. This is a compiler on change on here. This is a Roslyn. When you compile the C# code in, then Roslyn on here come in picture. Roslyn. This is a compile time. This is a compiler, and when you compile code in machine code, then in rigid, rigit. This is a compiler from compile build code to runtime machine code. This is a compiler come in the .NET Core, but on here this is a different compiler. GCSC, FSC, BBC. This is a JIT compiler. There is a difference on .NET Framework and .NET Core. Only this is a difference. No major difference on here. Okay,
Okay.
and and this command you can see in the .NET Core. Just open the CMD. Uh, I just share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So on here we can type .NET new list. Okay, this is command. Through the command CMD we can create the application regarding it. Suppose that we have on here SB.NET Core. Okay, ASP.NET Core Web API. Okay, we want to create the Web API. So then we write on here .NET new Web API. Okay, write copy and Control C .NET .NET new Web API. Okay, through this some issue on here. Create change the existing file overwrite. Mm, okay, some issue on here. Through this actually through this command you can create the application. Okay, suppose that you write MVC application, then write the MVC command web application. Through this command you can all through this command you can create the application. But in .NET framework these things is not available. Okay, because on here based on C libraries. Okay, so open the VS Code, Visual Studio, and create the project MVC. Okay, so we have on here. Can you see my screen? Visual Studio.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so on here, when you type the MVC, okay, when you type the MVC on here, we have C sharp and F sharp. There is a two. So I want to create the application in C sharp. So we want to select these things. Okay, first. Okay, so on here it is saying place solution and project in the same directory. Okay, so we can on here write intro MVC introduction MVC introduction MVC. Okay, so okay, on here we are open the drop down. We have multiple version on here. .NET
Yeah.
2.0, 3.0, 5.0, 6.0, 8.0. 8.0 is a long, even number long term support. 9.0 is 10 term support because this is odd number. 6.0 this is a this is long term but is a out of support. Okay, because this is a 36-month only support. So
Yes.
8.0 8.0 is come in 2030 2024. Okay,
23.
and 23. Okay, so this is for the 3 year. Then in 2016 2026 this is out of support. Okay, and this 9.0 for the 18 month. 18 month, then the after 18 month this is out of support. Okay, so I so when you create any application in the company, so mainly prefer long term support because this is a 36-month support. Okay, so this is a better preference for when you create the application in the company. Okay,
Mhm.
so I am
Yeah.
select on .NET 8.0. On here this is a saying configure https or enable container support. Suppose on here we have enable container support. Container support matlab means on here we have you want to use Docker. Okay, so suppose that if you add the checkbox on here, then on here when you create the project on there, create the one file Docker file on there created. If you want to create the file Docker file and you want deploy the application on the container, then you can check the checkbox on here enable container support. Okay, container support
Okay.
on here, this is a Docker. Okay, Linux or different, but I don't want to on here enable container support. Only I will work on .NET. Okay, .NET Core. Okay, okay, later we will talk in further if needed. Okay, so I
Yes.
am uncheck the container support. Okay, and on here do not use top level statement. Okay, do not use top level statement means on here some setting uh, I some setting when you create the application in the on there program.cs file, some setting on there we will I will show you on there what the setting. Okay, so just on here do not use top level statement, then check box. Okay, uncheck check box uncheck, then create Okay. So this is a create the .NET MVC application. On here, when on there, I have checked the checkbox on there. Okay, so uh, we have not create the main file on here, because if you uncheck the checkbox on there,
I
when
can't
you
see the VS Code. I only see the ASP.NET Core Google Docs document.
okay, you're not seeing any my Visual Studio
No,
from 10 minutes.
no, just like a minute ago.
Okay, okay,
From
okay.
a minute ago, it stopped the VS Code and it
Yeah,
opened
okay. Yeah, yeah.
the Google Docs.
Introduction. Can you see my screen? VS Code.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, now I can see.
Okay. So on there, I have on there do not uncheck the checkbox. Okay, if you check the checkbox, then on by default on here, console application static void main file is created. Okay, so there is a difference on there. Actually, on forget on there. So on there on here, I uh, give one by one line what the use. Actually, on here, this is a program.cs file. Suppose that if you understand the console application, in the console application, you know the main file, main, okay, stated void main. Okay, so by default, when you run the application, then on there, stated void main is function is called first time. Okay, same things on here. Program.cs, this is a first file for the execution. This is a first program.cs file is executed. Okay, so on here, how to execute but the code on here. So so builder on here on here a web application dot create builder. Okay, this line used for the used for the logging and dependency. This line a web application dot create builder. Okay, this line used for the logging purpose and DI dependency injection. Okay, this line. After that, after that, this line used for the actually on here we have two partition. One each partition. This is one partition. We have two partition. Okay. Uh, this one first partition. This. Okay. This is a build. Okay. And this is a run. Okay. So this part we have two part. One part and second part. Okay. We have two part. Okay. When you build the application, when you build the application, before run, then this line will execute it. Application create builder. Okay, on here we have dependency logging. Okay, after that builder dot service dot add controller with view. Then when we want to run controller with view, then this line we will need. Okay, suppose that I change on here. I change on here only controller. Suppose that we want to create the API. So only we need 8 controllers only. But in MVC, we need view and controller both. So we need MVC 8 controller with views. Okay, there is a difference. Suppose that if you create the web API, then you can add 8 controller only. And if you want to create the controller with view, means MVC application, then 8 controller with views. Okay, there is a difference on here. You can write on here uh, for MVC application. Okay, and this copy and paste and this is for API. Okay, this line for the API. When you create the API, then change this line from to this. Okay. After that, builder that build on here. This line will build the application. Okay. After that, on here, this line, what the use of this line? This line used for the when you suppose that key we have environment, we have multiple environment, development environment, production environment, okay, QA environment, UAT environment, different environment. Okay, so suppose that ki we have enable development environment. Then if any error is coming, then this page is rendering. Error is coming. Okay, or if you in production, suppose that even this dot this this dot production. Okay, if you want to show this error in production, then this production. If you want to show this error in staging, then you can add this staging. Okay, according this you can set on here. So by default this is a for development is development. Okay, this line for the when error is coming in development, that this error is show on there. Okay, this is a home controller. This is a home, and on there is a error, means this is a index method. Okay, I saw you later after discuss with the program.cs. So
Okay.
after that we have on there from here line number 16, to line number 16 to 30, line number 16 to 30 we have middleware. Okay, on it this is middleware it always run from top to bottom, always run from top to bottom. If you want to change the sequence, suppose that ki first middleware is app dot use host. Okay, this is a middle use dot exception handler. Okay, this is a middleware. If you change the sequence, suppose that if you change the sequence on here, this change on top, and this is then first run use static file, this middleware first run, then again then next this middleware run, because middleware run from top to bottom as a first this run, after that then next, then next, then next, then from top to bottom always run. Okay, so this middleware, what the use of this middle use status file? Suppose that we have multiple files like images, okay, some JS file or CSS file. Okay, we want to run through this middleware. This is a inbuilt middleware, built-in middleware in .NET Core. If you want to create the custom middleware, you can create. But for that, as a requirement, we can create the custom middleware. But this middleware is a built-in middleware. Okay, so this middleware is for the use static files. You can understand the naming convention, like correct use static files. For the static
Yeah.
files, image, CSS, some static contents. Okay, for that this file is executed. Okay, and after that use HTTP redirection. Suppose from one page to another page to third page, fourth page redirection. From suppose that we have site. Okay, and then menu redirection from home to containers to any other page. Then for that purpose, run this middleware. Use HTTP redirection. Okay, and after that you run this middleware. Use routing. Routing, suppose that कि जब when you route suppose कि we have multiple controller and action. Okay, according the action and controller, uh, then which routing or routing level you can understand. There are two type of routings, if you know, conventional based routing and active based routing. Okay, according that, for that run this use routing middleware. Okay, and after that we have authorization. Okay, authorization, suppose that ki you have some permission, you have admin, you have permission is user, you have permission is support. So which permission you have, so according this middleware will run. Okay, use authorization. Okay. After that we have this is a this middleware for the redirection. Suppose that when you check the page, when you run the application, amazon.com, and no any page found, then default page go to the home.index. Okay. For that map controller root, this is middleware will run. Okay. After
Yeah.
then this middleware run. After that app.run. Finally app.run. Okay. So this is one by one middleware is run. If you want any write the custom middleware or any some configuration, suppose that key connection string we want to write on your connection string, or some for the caching, or different things, like Redis cache, and and for the some request, you can rate limit, you can create the rate limit, and if you want any service, and you can also on here register on here. Okay. Through the middleware, custom middleware. So as a requirement we can change on here, all things we can change, but commonly basic things on here one by one. This is a basic thing. Okay. According requirement we can change on here. Finally app.run, this run the application. Okay. So on here you can understand the program.cs file. If any confusion on here.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand.
Okay. So program.cs, after
Yeah.
that we will
As a
we will
quick, can you explain me once again
Yeah,
this
sure,
MVC,
sure. Yeah.
this
uh,
middleware, and yeah,
okay, yeah,
from the
yeah.
starting.
Yeah, sure. Actually, from build, from the
Yeah.
first line, uh, where builder that web application that create builder. This line for the uh, build the application. This line for the build
Okay.
the application for the logging or dependency injection, DI, dependency injection purpose. Okay, this line will execute. Okay. After that, when we have application is MVC, this line add controller with view, means when you have controller and view both, then this method will call add controller with view for MVC
Okay.
application. Okay. If you want to have web API application, then change add controller with view to add controller for the API application. This line. Okay. After that, builder or build this build the application. This four line used for the build the application only.
Building the application. Okay.
Okay. After that,
Mhm.
then after that, this line start for the suppose that ki when you run the application and got the error, when you development or any staging or any production based on configuration, you can change on here is staging, is production, is है ना? You according that you
Yeah.
can show the error. Okay. According that, this is a middleware. Use exception
Yeah.
handler. This is a
Handling
middleware.
exception
Okay.
handling. Okay.
So this according that this error will show. Okay. And after that, app that host, use host. So this error will show on the browser.
Okay.
After that, this is a middleware. This is middleware for the exception. After that, this
Mhm.
1 2 3 4 5 6, this middleware always run from top to bottom. Okay. So this is a static files, this is a HTTP redirection, use routing, use authentication, map controller route. This is for use for the statics files. Okay, this is for the HTTP redirection. Suppose that we have multiple protocol, HTTP, HTTPS. Okay, for that we need to this use for this this is this middleware we can use for this that purpose. Okay. Use routing for the redaction from one page to another page. Okay. For that use routing.
Okay.
Suppose that we have home controller, and inside the index method, and move to home controller containers page. Then use for that we use the use routing middleware. Okay. For authorization, suppose that you have some admin permission, or some support permission, or user permission. According that you can use the use authorization middleware. Okay. After finally, suppose that when you run the application and if you not find any page, then map controller root. Okay, default page is called home index. This page will run when you by default this page run when you run the application. Okay, after that this line will run the whole application on the browser. If dot run these
Okay.
things in the program.c first.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So after that, we will talk about the app setting.json. Why we need app setting.json, and inside the app setting the development JSON, why this not using this is what the purpose of this. Okay, so um, always means be on here always loaded app set on here. We have supposed that mm, this is a JSON on here. We have the JSON syntax. Okay, logging. Okay, on log level, this is a for the logging purpose. Okay, this is a common file. This file is always executed, but on here we have develop the application. Then we on here application that development JSON. When you deploy the application, then we have application that production JSON. Just I create the file on here, copy and paste. Not paste, just I go to the container, copy, paste. Can you see on here? I change the name on here. Uh, uh, production production.json. Okay, this file for the production purpose, this file for the development purpose. If we want to
Okay.
for any other file we want to create for the QA, uh, copy paste one file we are for the QA purpose. QA. Okay, because we have three. When you develop the application, after that go application go to the QA. Okay, on there database will be changed, and after that application go in the production. So then according that we have multiple app setting we have. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so uh, then we will talk about app setting. Then how to this run this application that development.json. How to where I we need to setting. Suppose that I build the application. We want to run the production.json file. So how to set where I set these things. Where I set these things, we want to run this app setting.q.json file. We want to run app setting that development.json where we want to set. So for it, we have one file is in the properties on properties launch setting.json. Launch setting.json, we have multiple things. We will on here we will talk about this is a profiles. Okay, on your profiles this setting on here. Okay, you can see environment variable. Okay, on here environment variable if you set on here development, then on here this file run development. If you change in
Okay.
production, then production file will execute. If you change on QA, then QA file is execute. Okay, so from here file will execute it if setting.json. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so suppose that ki if you want on here, you can see HTTPS. Okay, HTTPS. So then why so this HTTPS? Suppose that ki I change the name on here HTTPS. I change name here. Uh, mm, uh, my mm, my developer as something we can write my dev. Okay, so I change this name. Okay, just save. You can see on here my dev is coming. Correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so from here this setting is drop down values come from here. Okay, from this profile, from here http. Okay, this is http my dev. I change the name dev. Okay, and IS Express. This is IS Express. Okay, these three things come on in this drop down value come from here. HTTP, my dev. I change the name my dev, and this is a IS Express. Okay,
Mhm.
this
Yeah.
value come from here. Understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So and and we want to suppose that ki, we have question on here. Suppose that ki this one question on here. This launch setting that Josan is work only for the development purpose, not go in the
Okay.
production, not go in the production. So
Yeah.
how to set because just I tell you I setting in launch settings launch setting dot json file change the environment variable, okay, development. But when you deploy the application in the production, this file is not go on there. This is for only for the development purpose. So how to setting for the production, because this file is not going the production.
Mm-hmm.
This question, okay. This question are can ask in the interview. How to, because LAN setting is scope is LAN setting that JSON is only for the development purpose only, not for the
Yeah.
production.
Mm-hmm.
So for that we need to suppose that just I publish this code. I publish this code. I and show you all things. Right click, right click, publish. Can you see my screen? Publish folder. Okay,
Yes.
publish folder and on here. Okay, publish, publish. Okay. So now go to the publish folder. Okay, just I share my screen. Eh, Can you see my just 1 second. Close. Can you see my publish folder? Yes or no?
Now I can
Yes.
see only Visual Studio.
Okay, okay. Just publish. Okay, can you see? Okay. So
Yeah.
okay, can so on here you can see launch setting that JSON file is not available on here.
Yes.
Okay, app setting the development these things and launch setting in on your www folder. This is static files, all files on here. Okay, so launch setting that JSON file is available for the development purpose only. So this file is not available on here. So how to setting? When you deploy the application on the production, then how to set? I want to run the application that production file on the production. So how to setting? Where I need to set? So for that we need to setting on uh, open uh, on their search. Uh, just no, give me just 1 second. I share my again screen. Okay, can you see my screen? Other screen. This is a environment variable.
Mhm.
Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, so this is environment variable. Then only type on search panel environment variable. Okay, and environment variable come and open this file. Okay, so on here system variable. This is system variable. You can see system variable and click on here. If you not, just I already edit SPNet core environment production. Okay, if not available, when you deploy the application in the production, in the server, you can add these things on there. Environment variable in ASP.NET Core environment production. Okay. So this file, through this setting, you can run the application in the production. And app setting that production.json file run through this setting only.
Okay.
Understand? Through this setting, we can run the application app setting that production.json file on the production. Okay. Uh, so okay. Also other setting, but this is a simple setting for the okay through the wizard. And so you can understand program.cs file and app setting.json file. You can understand this file, the two
Yeah.
files. Okay.
Mhm.
And also properties you can understand. Okay. Line setting. When you publish the code, then we have created the folder profile.xml file. This is for the when publish this application. Then this file is created in the properties. Okay. In the publish the application.
Okay.
So you can understand the launch JSON file, app setting.json file, program.cs. Okay. So now we'll talk about the www root dot. Okay. This folder we will talk about this folder. Okay. So inside
Yeah.
this folder, we have only status file. Talk about in this middleware. This is app dot use statics file. Okay. So this statics file middleware run this file only. This is CSS file. This is JS file. This is library on here, bootstrap, jQuery, validation, something. Okay. All things. This is a favicon. Okay, for the browser. Okay. This all statics file run through this middleware. Use statics file. Okay.
Okay.
So this is a www root file for the static file only. If you add some images, okay. So you can add only in www folder.
Mhm.
After that, we will talk about we have only controller, model, and view. There is a three folder on here. Okay. Main folder, this is a. Through this, we have created the application. Controller, model, and view. So,
Yeah.
so, so we will talk about the on here. So just first start from the view. In the view, why this is a underscore view start dot CSHTML? Why on here write underscore? Why write on here underscore view import underscore view start? Why write? Because always when you compiler run the application, then because view when you run the compiler go run the view on the browser, then when you write the underscore before view, then compiler ignore this file when you write underscore
Okay.
view name. Okay, then ignore this
Okay.
file when you run this file on the browser. Okay,
Mhm.
for this purpose we can write on here underscore, because view start and view import this only for the setting. So just we will talk about the view start. Okay, so then view start is only for the um, so you can say, suppose that you have some common data. Okay, if you some want show the global data on here. Okay, or some layout, suppose that you have multiple module. Okay, one is a admin module, one is a user module, one is a support module, different module, and you want to according that you can show the layout. Suppose that you have multiple layout you have created. Layout means master page, if you understand in the sp.net or anything. Okay, this layout means common page. Common means
Okay.
matlab menu. Suppose okay, in the header, suppose that ki we have 10 menu. Okay, so admin show 10 menu, user show only 5 menu, and then support show only 7 menu. So according that we have created the multiple layout, multiple layout on here. Multiple layout we can create on here, and based on condition, based on authentication, if you admin, then this layout will be executed. If okay, if another based on condition, you can write on here. If if okay, something you write on here, something true, we have no any condition. So some based on condition, you can write the code. Okay, else something you write. So we have multiple layouts. So according that you can write the layout based on conditions. For that purpose, we can use the view start. Okay, or we have some common data. Common data globally you can show on the all application, in whole application. Then you can show on here. You can add on here. Okay, for that we you can use for the view start. Okay, after that we will talk about the view import. View import actually we will talk about the suppose that we have on here using this is a namespace, using this is a namespace that model. Suppose that we want to comment this code. Okay, and go to the van, this error code is using, like we can go on here. Okay, this is okay on here. Suppose I comment that code on here, then we need to write complete line on there. Otherwise it give error. Just I build the application. Okay, this error will coming. So uh, we need to write complete line on there. uh, Dot. Okay, so we need to complete line on there. So for the globally we have shortcut, we have some shortcut for that. So we have only model, uh, we can direct model and direct model name. Okay, so for that purpose we have write on here name, assign the namespace. For that purpose only direct you can, this is globally model assign, and after model we can write on here model name. Only that purpose we can import this namespace on here, main region this. Okay, and same things this namespace also in other place. Suppose if you direct comment this code, then you multiple place in whole application write this namespace dot this in namespace dot. So if you some globally namespace you can define on here like this: introduction mbc dot model. After model, suppose that you have 20 class. Okay, 20 class means models. Okay, on suppose that this is a model, ERB model, or user model, or admin model, different models. Okay, according that. So before that, if you not register on here, if you not register here, then you complete name is introduction mbc dot model dot error dot model dot user dot model dot something multiple class. You can complete name you need to mention on there. If you not add on here. Okay, so if you something globally in every place you mention in every view, then you can mention on here. Okay, so for that purpose this namespace we are using on here. This is a default. Okay, after that this line add tag helper, Microsoft Expedient Code dot tag helper. This purpose used for the, suppose that I go to the HTML page, HTML view page. I go to the view page. No. Uh, okay, on here. Suppose that just I write on here code SP P. This code is not coming. Just 1 second. On here we write this SP. Okay, so we have no name. Actually, this is a SP for. SP for is a tag helper. Okay, this is a tag helper uh, from here. This is a tag helper spnet.mbc.tag helper. Okay, suppose that I comment this line. I comment this line. Okay, so go on here. On here. Then color, you can see color is change. Okay, color is change on and build zero build. But on here, just I uncomment this code. Uncomment. Okay, uncomment. Then check on here. Okay, color will change. Okay, according that this
Yes.
will work on tag helper. Through this is a complete a .NET Core on here. Complete application work on SP hyphen 4. You can input type or button and all things with SP4. Through this we can do through this spnetcode.nbc.taghelper. This is a common. Suppose if you not register on here, then if you want to manually, then every place you can mention these things on here, on there, on here, every place. So globally you can mention on there. Every place you can mention like their import. Okay, import. Okay, every place you need to mention at the rate. Okay, so color will change. Okay, suppose that I
Yeah.
comment this code, comment this code, and just comment. Okay, just remove the code, remove and check on here. Okay, color will color will same. Okay, because I register on here. Just remove, then color change. Okay, so by simplicity, we can add this line tag helper on globally level. Okay, so on here we can add on globally level. Okay, same things for model. Okay, tag helper sp. This is namespace for the all whole application. So these things we can write on here. View import.cshtml. Okay, for that purpose, view import.cshtml file is used. So
Okay.
this line will not remove because we have no model. So you can understand this view import and view start file.
Yeah.
Okay. So uh, and after that, then start with the controller. Then this is controller on here. Okay. So controller. This is a we will talk in if you know the C sharp, then you understand these things. DI dependency injection. Okay. Okay, then if you know, then we tell you later. First, how to work view model controller. We will discuss about view model controller. So we have this is a index method. Okay, action method, index. Okay, so
Yeah.
index on here we have right click, go to the view. Okay, through the view on here view name. Same name is view. Suppose that we have home controller, home, and inside the folder home. This is a first prefix. Remove the control. This is
Yes.
because controller is common in all controllers. Before controllers means home controller. Remove controller home. Home name is folder create in the view. Okay, and inside the home index. This is a index that CS HTML. This method created on here. This is method name. This method name created in the view name. This is a view. This is method. This is a view name. Okay. This is view. When you open the view name. View name in view folder. And this is a home. This is home folder. And inside the view name index. View name index. Okay. Home folder and inside the view name index. And this name is by default view is created. Okay, view inside the view home folder controller home inside the action index. This is a action method. This is index. Suppose that you change the name on one, then you change the change the name on it also. index 1. Otherwise, it will not call. Okay. So these things on here, action, same things on here, action. Okay. This is a error. Okay. This is some other things on for the caching purpose. And on here, this is a inherited from the controller. Suppose that this is a API controller, and if you're not in API, then on here change the API controller. API controller. Okay. When you create the API, then or when you this is a controller, then inherit from the controller. When you MBC controller, then inherit from the controller. And if you API, if you when you create the API, then inherit from the API controller. This name is changed on there. Okay. So this view, and inside the view we have index method. Okay. Index method we have these things and other things we have, but the on here we have state management. Okay, state management, in the inside the state management we have multiple things like view data, view bag, and temp data. Three things on there for the state management. From data from controller to view, view to controller, from movement from action to action, we have used the state management. In the inside the state management we have three things: view data, temp data, and view bag. Okay. So we will discuss these things, state management later, and these things view. On here we have created the model. In the model folder we have created the model. For the small application, we have created on here. We have big application, then further we have created the library. Three-tier architecture
Okay.
means one is a library for the one for the data access layer, one for business access layer, one for the entities. There is a different separation. Suppose that you have a small application, then you can create on here in model folder. You can create the folder wise class. Okay. If you a small application, if you big application, then you can create the layer, multiple layer. Okay.
Okay.
And these things on here in the structure application. Any confusion on here?
I understood. Can you please repeat the model, view, and controller quickly?
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
starting
uh,
from the view, right?
yeah, starting from the view on here, go to the controller. Okay, this is a controller, home controller, correct? This is a
Yes.
home
Yes.
controller. Inside the home controller start from home, remove controller. This is a home. So means home name, create in the view folder, create the home folder, create the home folder.
Okay.
Okay, this is
Yeah.
home folder. And the home controller go to the index method. This index method is a view name. View name. This is a view name in the home view name. This is a view name, this view name
Okay.
on here, this view name. Okay, this view name, and and this controller name, this is a controller name, same name, different. If you change the name, then this method will not call. If you change the name, okay.
Okay.
Okay, suppose the index 1, if you change the index 1 2, then you
Mhm.
cannot call the index. Okay,
Yes.
same name, if you add same name, then you can call. Otherwise, you cannot call. So, okay, suppose for the checking purpose, go to view. If you not go to the view, then same method is not available on there. Okay, suppose
I
that I
got it.
write one. Okay, on one.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
go to the
nice.
view. Go to view. Okay, unable to find the matching view. Okay, these things you can.
Yeah.
So this thing, and also you can go from here. Go to the view. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so these things on here, these things. Okay, after that we will discuss about the I action result. This is a multiple return type on here. Okay, this is a abstract class on here, I action result. Okay, so we will talk on here later. Okay, but for the controller view and model. Okay, so model for the, when you use on here model, when you data for the data, then use the model. Suppose that on the error page, go to the error page on here, it is using model. This model, on here error, this is a error page, this is using on here model. Okay, through this model on here using model data, how to use model, the request, all things on here using. Okay, these things we are using. Same things for when you for the movement of data, then we can use the model folder. When you create the class, any create the table, something for that we can create the model. On here we have create the class. Okay, so you can
Yeah.
understand. Can you tell me the controller and view? Can you tell me what that, how to understand, uh,
For
how
the
to work?
controller,
Yes.
yeah, okay. Like inside the home controller, there will be a folder like called home. It is created inside the view.
Correct, correct, correct,
Yeah, and the models, like we'll be having a plenty of all the classes.
correct, correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, understand. Okay, good. Or any
Yeah,
another
and
kind of yes.
the view, like inside the view, there should be a correct name. Like the folder name should be right. If in the controller, if the folder name is if we write a different name, it is not. It doesn't access.
Correct, correct. Same
It
name,
didn't go to
same.
the view.
Yes, same name, index name, action name is same in the view name. If you
Okay.
change,
Yeah.
then it is not work.
Yes. Same name. Yeah.
Inside the
Mhm.
folder structure, with all things, any folder structure, any confusion, please let me know. Also,
As of
I will share the recording. Don't worry.
okay. Yeah. Yeah, and also I need a document of the .NET which you prepared.
Yeah, yeah, sure,
What you
sure,
call
sure,
the
sure,
LTS.
sure, sure.
Yeah, that document. Can you share me that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. All the classes.